It came out green again.
What did?
You know, the thing in the bathroom, it came out green.
The child? The child is green. Answer
Okay.
my riddles 3 or your child will come out as green.
Enter goblin mode.
Enter goblin mode. Good song. Stream it on all platforms.
That was my sad attempt to start the podcast off with a bit. Thank you guys for listening. We're just gonna end it here.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye. No, welcome guys. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm here again with Sam.
Hello. I'm being forced to do this.
Yeah, he should have checked the contract.
Yeah, that's why you read. I can't read.
I made sure that the lawyer he hired to like co-sign the contract with, I made sure that he also couldn't read, so that there was no way for him to get better counsel.
Everyone that walks by, I wave. They all look, and they always give like the meanest like. I always wave, and they don't wave back half the time.
Now, I'm not trying to make like a joke here, but like seriously, around this area, like people have a weird, they despise eye contact. Like even when you just like look at people and you like try to wave or like smile or like just kind of like grin at people, like when you're walking by to make it less awkward, people like avoid your gaze at all costs. I've noticed that here. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I mean, I do that. That's the thing.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, like, if someone's, like, looking at me, like, someone I know, of course, I'll, like, do a nod or say something to them. But it's, like, some random person that's just trying to go back to their room. I'm not going to be like, hey, man, try to shake their hand, try to, like, touch their nutsack or whatever.
My friend Andrew, we've had this conversation. I had that conversation with him about how, like, people around here, like, are friendly, but they're not at the same time, basically. Yeah. And he said that his approach is just to say hi to everyone. And like, even if it's like the worst time, it was like 8 o'clock in the morning, you know, or like even like super late in the evening when people are just like groggy and tired. He'd like walk up to him and go, hey man.
But what if it's like, you know, when like you're walking to class and there's that big strip of just sidewalk, if you walk from like the dining hall to like Dunlap, and you know that big strip that you just you're just constantly walking past people just going, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up?
Yeah, he would do that sometimes.
Oh my God.
Not every time, but like he'd always like pick his moments, right? Like he would make sure that like it would be super early in the morning. People are like either going like to class or obviously leaving class. And when he like make sure that the person was obviously going to try to avoid his gaze, and he'd be like, hey. So that way, like they kind of have to enter into a conversation with him because it'd be rude if they just ignored him. So I mean, in a way, it's not even a prank; it's just being friendly.
Yeah.
But some people are just have like resting bitch faces all the time, and so I think that deters me from like talking to a lot of people around here, like just like making new friends. Because like there was somebody in my one of my classes last semester that I thought like absolutely despised me, just because of how her expression was in class, like just when she was like just like doing her work, like when I'd look at her and her eyes would meet just naturally, she just had this like continuous like pissed off expression, and I thought that like I had done something wrong. So I just thought like, oh yeah, this person just hates me and I'll never know why, right? And I have the same class with her again, or a different class with her again, and I happened to talk to her, and she's like the nicest person one of the like nicest people I've ever met. And I'm like, wow, I really just misjudged her completely.
Hey, you know what they say? Don't judge a book by its cover.
Don't judge a face by the face.
Yeah,
expression.
Roll credits.
Yeah, but no, like she was like, she's super nice, and I think it's just people are just dealt a bad hand when it comes to like their resting faces. Yeah. Because most people who are super friendly have pretty intimidating like resting faces. Like my AP lit teacher in high school, on the first day she was like, guys, I have an RBF. So if you think I'm pissed off at you, I'm not. Just talk to me. Trust me. It's fine.
I feel like that's a lot of teachers. I feel like as you age, your face gets more wrinkly and you look more sad.
Start growing wings, tails, extra limbs.
Couple like ears, some eyes.
Wait, so would you, if you could like change the course of like human evolution, right?
Yeah.
Would you make it to where when people get older, they get wings or extra limbs?
Well, is this like wings? Is like a chicken? Like, can you fly?
You could fly, or you could have extra limbs, helping you grab stuff, like write essays while you're typing and all that stuff.
I feel like that's hard. Well, do you get to choose what limbs they are, or is it random? Or is it by genetics?
Well, the whole Punnett square thing,
Yeah.
But like just in general, you could either end up with extra arms or extra legs or both, or you get
Like,
wings.
how old are you? Is this like 50?
Like these like traits don't develop in humans. You've technically made it this way, right? So these traits don't develop in humans until they reach like 60.
But you're 60, like, there's going to be 60-year-olds, like, flying around?
Yeah. Trying to
Or, like,
flee,
extra limbs?
to flee the
I think that
nursing
would create,
homes.
like, a divide in the class more than there already is in the classes.
You think people in their senior citizens with extra limbs would make them more divided from society?
I feel like, no, I feel like they'd be, like, feel like they're better than us.
Because they have more limbs.
Yeah, it's like
Their facilities aren't going to be better. Like their
but
wits at
they
a certain age.
fly. They can fly. I mean, I feel like this is like a lose-lose anyways. Because, okay, say that you get wings, but this is a 60-year-old flying. They probably can't fly for that long.
And also they might not be able to see very well.
That's true. Like,
So it's like you're
shit. Like, would that, like, would it the same rules as, like, a plane? Like, would you need a license to fly?
I mean, this is America.
That is true.
Pop's gonna fly out of that, the nursing home
Have you seen that
anytime he
video
wants.
of the guy, like, purposely crashing his plane?
What?
He's not in it.
Okay.
There's this video of, like, this guy's like flying his plane. He's like a plane YouTube channel where he like flies around his own little private plane, and it's like one of those like one-seater planes, and he just goes like he's like flying in the mountains, and his plane's like shit. He's like the battery died or the engine failure. And he's just like coasting. It's not like falling down. Nothing's bad. He could probably land it himself. He's this guy that knows how to fly a fucking plane. He probably knows how to land it no matter what. And we're like, shit, I don't know. So he takes his parachute out and just fucking jumps out. And then it just crashes into like the side of a mountain.
Oh my gosh.
And then he got a bunch of shit for it because you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to crash your plane for the lulz, for the views.
He crashed his plane for the lulz.
For the lulz, yeah.
I mean, did he have like insurance on that thing, or
I don't know. It might. Is there flight insurance?
I mean, if he purposely, because like the insurers probably,
but I don't think he did it for insurance.
Right?
Yeah, 100%. But I don't think he did it for the insurance. I think he did it for the views.
No, because there's video evidence that he was like, LOL, and then jumped out.
Yeah. So I don't think he was like purposely doing it. I just think he did it for the lulz.
I'm gonna say it. If I had a plane and I had a pilot's license, I wouldn't crash my own plane.
I know.
That's expensive. Imagine the repairs. Even let's just say hypothetically the crash is salvageable.
I don't think the crash is gonna be salvageable.
That's so dumb.
But it was like I watched like a pilot react to it, and he's like just talking shit about the whole ordeal. But he was like, I think the plane he was flying was like some other plane that he didn't really fly like that much. It's like, damn, I'm gonna take out my shitty B plane that I never use, and totally nothing bad's gonna happen. And then it's just the video is. I just want to show you him jumping out. Hold on. And he says a lot of fucks. Where is it? This is where, and then he just hops out. She's like, I'm heading out. And he jumps out. Then the plane crashes. It's so dumb. Like, first off, like, I mean, he probably chose like a super remote area, but still, that's still dangerous.
It's dangerous for him, for others.
It could catch on. All this shit could catch on fire and
unnecessary damage of property. Like you said he could probably properly land it.
Yeah, they found out. Like whoever was watching was like, he scouted out the area and found like multiple like plains of grass he could just like easily landed in.
Rich person moment, I guess.
It's clout.
I guess.
YouTube is the clout race. You're her. You feel.
Yeah. Well, it's like speaking of like doing stupid stuff for clout. Did you ever get into that like whole like trend of like what was it called?
Planking?
No, devious licks or whatever.
Oh my, no, because I was in high school at the time. I know it.
What was that all about? Was it really just people stealing
It
stuff?
was just stealing. It was just stealing school property.
That is so dumb.
I know. I think at my school, or my old high school, when that was all happening, because I would be in college at this time. Still am.
Best 7 years of your life.
I know they locked they locked like the bathroom, like you could only go with like a special pass or like special permission to go like hit the pisser or something.
Yeah.
Which would suck. No more hitting your jewel in blowjob bathroom. Do you have a blowjob bathroom at your school, like a sex bathroom? Did any bathroom have a reputation for that?
If it existed, I was never invited.
Okay. Damn. You weren't? There was like a conga line.
Jeez.
You know? That was a lie. If you know who I am.
Smooth.
Yeah.
But no, there were no fun time bathrooms in my high school.
I mean, I don't even know if it was. It's just like that's just the rumor was. It was just like, yeah, you go get your. That's where people like get their dick sucks. I'm like, damn, couldn't be me. Sorry, I love being subtle.
But anyway, I actually have some topics written down.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you what, like, in elementary school, do you ever have to do any fundraising?
Yes. Yes.
And I'm gonna guess that it was like they like brought the entire school into an assembly and they pitched this like pyramid scheme of a fundraiser.
Yes.
Where
it's child exploitation.
Child exploitation, but you were promised these lofty like prizes.
Yes.
But in reality, all your hard work really just amounted to like cheap like imported like plastic toys that broke in a week, and only like one person got like a trip to like Disney or something, or like $100. They sold like $1,000 worth of product.
There was always that one kid.
And I got $100
There's
back.
one kid that would always try hard, and like his parents were rich, and or he knew like 50 million people, and he would be able to sell his 4-pound bucket of cookie dough.
Yeah.
Because who needs 4 pounds of cookie dough?
I remember like the first year, I distinctly remember you were trying to sell candles, and then like I think like in second grade it was like wallpaper. Then it was in third grade it was like I think what was it? I think like cookie dough. It was either candles, wallpaper, cookie dough, just general crap like.
We had
overpriced crap.
Yeah, we had because I went to a private elementary school. I would have been there from 1st to 5th. So whatever before kindergarten, basically we had the fun run. Did you have the fun run?
I did the fun run.
And
yeah.
I don't think I ever actually like did it. I know I did the fun run because you had to run the fun run. Except for one time where in the morning I threw up and I was like, Mom, I threw up. And she's like, well, that means you have to stay in bed all day, because she thought I said I was feeling like I was going to throw up, because my mom did not like me staying home from school. And so I eat breakfast, okay, and then I go to the fun run, and right before the fun run starts, I just fucking vomit everywhere. And I did not do the fun run that day. But no, in high school we had something similar. For marching band, was to fundraise the band. We had to sell cookie dough, and I sold like 3 boxes. I didn't really care. There's one kid that I know that sold a lot, but it's like the worst fucking cookies. It was all garbage.
And the most depressing thing is it's child labor that's required. In some cases, required. Like,
do you have it required?
Not in elementary school, but my sister. There were, the way she explained it to me, if she didn't make a certain goal, she was penalized for not selling enough crap.
What was the penalty?
she wouldn't be able to letter academically. Or
What?
no, letter in band.
What?
You know, like the little patch thing for like your
Yeah.
jacket. If she didn't sell enough goober crap cookie dough,
How old? Wait, what grade is this?
senior. She's a senior
She's. Oh my god.
or something like that. Like she is a senior, but like she had to sell, I think, cookie dough or something, and if she didn't reach a certain goal, which basically meant that if you didn't reach that goal, basically you're gonna have to buy the
Yeah.
stock of cookie dough that you would have sold, which is just so depressing.
Do you know how much she had to sell?
I don't know, like I'll make it up, like 7 tubs or something. Good old tubs.
7 tubs. That's like probably like $300.
Exactly. Thankfully, somehow I think she made the goal.
I mean, probably grandparents, neighbors.
No, we do not.
Really?
We try to, like, growing up. I was going to mention this earlier. Growing up, you know, obviously when I was little, like I fell for the whole like scam, right? Like I was like, oh man, I want to go to Disney and get a squishy pig toy, and I want to get this crappy yo-yo that'll break in a week. And my dad was always like, no, you're not doing that. You're not asking your grandparents to buy this crap. And at the time I was like, oh, dang it, Dad. Oh. And now I'm like, thank you, Dad. That was the best thing he could have done.
Yeah.
Because I would have felt so guilty later on when I like realized like I had all the crap I had to have sold. I would have sold to my like family, you know. I feel like for like smaller programs like band and chorus, rather than like the whole school, is a little different. Like usually, you know, except for like my sister's case at one point, for the most part, it's like small scale stuff. Like, hey, you don't have to make a certain quota, and you can just sell like some stuff, or like, you know, most of the time for like you know, for like when I was in chorus, like the only fundraiser we ever did was like some sort of like raffle, maybe at a concert or something, and that was for people participated in that if they wanted to.
Yeah.
It was less of us. It wasn't us like, you know, door-to-door salesmen, you know. But yeah, I'm so glad that my dad like kept us from doing the elementary school fundraisers, because it was pointless. And also, I think none of this would have been like required. Like we wouldn't even be having this conversation if schools had better funding.
Yeah. The fun run should technically not exist because the school should already be funded enough, but
Yeah.
unfortunately they need some random like third party to come in to exploit everyone, and at the end they probably profit off everything.
And half of the time, like in the end, like the school makes like pennies compared to what the company makes.
Yeah. Do you
Like-
know what? I'm gonna ask you this. Do you remember box tops?
Oh my gosh,
What
yeah.
was the use of box tops? I just remembered in elementary school you could bring him to like the front desk, and if you had like an ungodly amount, you'd get like a toy.
Ungodly amount.
But like
Here's the thing.
what were they? What were they for?
If you donated, because the same thing, it was the same thing, the same way at my school. If you donated enough box tops, like you cut them out and everything, I always brought a little baggie filled with them, you know, you wouldn't get anything, like at least not from me, like, but it apparently the school could like use it to receive money
Really?
somehow. It was a program, right? Because like,
Yeah.
you know, schools would get box tops from kids, which meant that they had to have cut them off boxes of products sold at stores. And so it's kind of like, you know, buy basically you're buying stuff that, and you know, part of that profit technically goes to the school. Like you're buying a box of granola bars, you know, but that box top that you cut off the top of the label goes to the school, and the school gets like $1 from the you know, overarching box top lord or whatever.
You know what's fucked up? Raffle. Like at your school, do you have like a raffle where like you could pay money for more like chances in the raffle? I mean,
Yeah.
That's how like, especially my elementary school, like there's a lot of rich people, and there's a rapper whose kids went to our school, and like of course you get like 2 free ones or something, and that's like $30 or something for like 2, not for 2 free ones, for like 2 of them. And one of these children's had like a stack this big of cards for this raffle, and it's like oh, you get like a cool Lego set or a cool toy. It's like that big end of the year raffle. And of course I never won. And all these little like rich kids won everything. I'm like, what's the point?
Because they had bought like 30 reams of like
Yeah.
raffle tickets.
It was so dumb. I remember in Boy Scouts, they also had a raffle, but it was more fair. And I was like, I want to get the marshmallow shooter. I want to get the cool toy, the cool walkie-talkies. And I never won until once I won. And I got these like really shitty bootleg like Game Boy like toy devices where it wasn't even like NES ROMs on like a handheld device. It was like Game and Watch games,
Yeah.
like shit like that, where it was like made with light.
Like third party Game and Watch games.
Yeah, like those McDonald's toys you would get of like skateboarding or basketball.
Skateboard Pal.
Sonic Basket Shadow and Amy. Do you know that video?
No.
You don't know Sonic, or is it Chateau Basketball?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh my god, I'll never pause so I can look it up and throw it on screen, but the Pakistani Sonic Heroes Happy Meal commercial. Sonic Skateboard. And Amy Dennis. I love how Rogue looks. I don't know, the cream buff ball catch. Oh, basketball. Knuckles baseball. It's so awesome. How have you never seen that?
Well, I've seen it now.
Yeah.
My life's complete.
That's a classic video. I love that video.
Basketball.
Shadow basketball. Sonic skateboard. Rogue and Amy Tennis. I love how Rogue looks. Rogue is just like a white blob with face on it.
It's weird how like they have the official license, like they're allowed legally to advertise toys with like Sega properties, but they don't have access to like the right assets. So like they just have like
I'm so
they had, like some poor like intern make it probably.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't just like dub it over like
like an actual clip.
Yeah, or like an English commercial. Just dub it over. Have you seen the Big America from was it? It was like McDonald's Israel commercial, I think. And it was like, here is the Big America, and then the Obama appears.
Oh my gosh, no, I haven't seen
another
that.
clip. Hold on, this will be the reaction. This is the React Andy. Can that be the title? We all React Andys. Put that in big. Yeah, this is one of the greatest videos of all time.
Secret Service, ma'am. Yaheskel Ben Shabbat.
Chezi?
Yarad Goren. Come with us. YouTube again. Shibri Harari. Shibri Harari. Check the meat, check the fries, you check the back.
No oil, no trans fat. Checked.
Affirmative.
100% unprocessed pure lean beef. Check.
Copy that. Send in the Eagle.
לכל אחד יש רגע שהוא פשוט חייב ביג אמריקה.
Here you go, Mr. President.
God bless Israel.
Here you go, Mr. President. God bless Israel. That's one of the greatest.
There's something off about that Obama.
I think it's like a deep fake Obama. It looks like
When
it.
did this commercial come out?
In Israel in what year? Does it say? It doesn't say on the video. Maybe if my phone will fucking work. No, he just goes, here you go, Mr. President. Rubar Shabari. It's such an awesome video. How have you never seen it? That commercial is so epic.
I've seen a lot of like, you know, like not I guess like deep web McDonald's commercials, you know, like there's like this Japanese one where it's just Ronald McDonald like standing in a doorway going rock McDonald, and then like there's like someone there, there's like someone in the room like terrified, and then the commercial just ends.
You know the song Rock and Roll McDonald's?
Rock, McDonald's.
Rock and Roll McDonald's.
Big Mac, make you fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch Super Size Me?
Yes, I did. And I was going to bring that up because I watched that in health.
Yeah, I did too in 8th grade.
I watched it in 6th, I think. And it was like the best. Like, it's weird how to like explain this, but like, it was the best thing we had ever seen in health class.
Yeah.
Because it was like...
It was fun.
It was a fun experience. And for once, it felt like we were watching something that was for adults.
Yeah.
But it was not. It was just a
like
documentary about a guy eating food. But we felt like, oh, because it's, there are no kids in it. It's like an adult film. But...
in your health class, when did you have sex ed? When did you, when was that introduced? Was it introduced early or later?
Sex ed. So I don't think we actually had, I mean, I think there was like a small sex ed unit in 6th grade that was just kind of like, just about like the anatomy of males and females. But it wasn't really sex ed.
Did they cut the class into 2 different rooms? No,
we didn't do that in middle school. We did that in elementary school.
You didn't have...
We did it in...
You didn't separate the genders?
No, we did that, but not in middle school. I did that in 5th grade, I think.
Really?
And it was... might have been 4th grade. So basically, I remember it very distinctly. It was the most awkward thing ever. And so... I was really excited that day because I knew people were like saying, oh, we're going to have the talk today. And I kind of knew, what sex was and, all that stuff. I kind of knew about it. But I was like excited because I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, after this talk, we're going to be adults, right? That's literally what I thought. I was like, we're going to be adults. Like we're going to be able to vote and all that crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're going to
drive an automobile.
Drive
go to
cars.
war.
Hello, sir, like a fine automobile. Yeah, that kind of thing.
I don't trust that.
I don't trust like that. No, but yeah, like I thought this is it, right? We get into the room and I'm not kidding. The guy who was the guy's teacher he looked exactly like Bill Cosby, and he acted like him too.
Bibbidi boppity.
He the whole lesson was just this awkward like stand-up routine of him going, "All right, guys, you know what a penis is," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And he was like. I get it now. He was trying to kind of like put us at ease and kind of make it more of a fun experience because obviously it's a funny penis,
Yeah.
And it was just bad stand up. Him just trying to explain sex to 5th graders through like stand up, and it was weird and awkward. And he like played a video, but he couldn't get the video to work. And so he had like an assistant who was like trying to help him, and he would be like, so how do I do this? And she's like, no, you didn't do this. And he's like, stop. I know what I'm doing. Stop it. And it was like really weird. And like, we didn't know what to expect. We were like, what is going on? And then at the end, he was like, any questions? And I was like, oh my gosh, please no. So no one asked any questions not because I didn't want people to understand anything. It's because I knew my classmates. None of us were very mature. And so I knew someone was going to take this opportunity to make this whole thing like just a stupid moment, right? I look over and this kid named actually I shouldn't say his name. Let's call him Paul. He was like, yeah, Mr. Teacher, I got a question. And he was like, go ahead, son. And he's like, how do you make like a girl pregnant? And he started laughing, and like a couple of his cronies started laughing. And the guy was like, all right, guys, I'll see you guys. That was a great lesson.
So you have to wait till freshman year biology class to learn that.
What?
We learned that last year, remember?
What?
In biology class. We took biology class together.
That's how we met.
Yeah, but that was one of the big, did you really know a lot about reproduction? Like the science in it.
So, in middle school, we kind of improved upon what I learned in 5th grade, but not really. I think I actually really did learn a lot in that biology class about reproduction and anatomy and everything.
I learned a lot more in that class than I did in my ecology class. My ecology class, I don't think I learned anything really, but I actually had to learn for biology, which was a cool experience.
Yeah, we learned a lot about alternate methods of having children if you're not fertile and all that and everything, and it's actually very interesting. It cleared up some misconceptions I had about certain things. And
there's that one guy that talked about fucking ear fetish. Remember that? Do you remember that? Oh my god!
Are you saying one of our fellow classmates?
One of our fellow classmates, yes. The one with that looked like he would browse Reddit.
Oh, he actually had the neck beard.
Yes. I hope he's not. I hope he doesn't. Find this.
If you're watching this, we're sorry. We don't mean to hate.
We don't mean to hate, but that was a weird comment. The teacher was like, where are other holes that you put the penis into, something like that, and someone was like the butt. Someone said the vagina, butt, mouth, and then he's like the ear, and there's weird ear fetish fucking videos, which.
For those listening who aren't enjoying this section of the podcast, we apologize.
This is the
sex ed episode.
Yeah.
But no.
Title it Sex Stand Up.
Sex Stand Up. All right, guys. So this is the penis.
That class was.
That class had an interesting cast of characters.
Yes, there's this old lady who.
Okay, dude.
She was old.
That's disrespectful.
Older lady. There's an older lady. I meant to say older.
She
was in her 50s.
No, yes. She was not in her 50s.
Early 40s.
Yes, thank you.
And she had children.
She had twins, and she
also ran the K-pop club at the school.
And she would always find a way. She did this weird thing in class where she pretended to be more left leaning politically. Yeah. So whenever our discussions about vaccines or anything would happen, she would pretend that she was aligning with what the professor was saying, but then she would always try to find a way to kind of discount or play devil's advocate with whatever anybody said.
And it got annoying. And
it got really irritating. One time we were talking about vaccines and different types of vaccines, and out of nowhere she was like, "Yeah, but I had a cousin who died after having a vaccine. The vaccine made her have a stroke." And we all looked around okay, that doesn't mean that vaccines don't work. Why did you bring that up? And she's like, "Oh, I just wanted to say that." I'm like, "No, you said that with an agenda. Yeah. That's a weird thing to just say."
There was that one it was right before the class ends. She gets up and she pulls up a piece of paper.
Oh, okay. So let me set this. Let me set the scene. So
this is this is 9:30 a.m.
Yeah, everybody is dead, groggy in this class. We'll just call her the mom.
Yeah.
So the mom stands up, and I was like, oh no, this is what. Okay, let me set the scene. When everybody got into class, everybody was filing in.
I thought this was the end of the class.
No, but at the beginning of class, before anything had happened, everybody was filing in. She walked up to the professor, and I sat in the front so I could hear what she was saying. Yeah. And she was like, "Hey, do you think you could end class a little bit early? So, because I have something I just want to say to the class, and I could really use an audience and everything." And our professor was like, "Sure." And then, we go through class like normal. Our professor's presenting the slides, and we're having discussions and everything. And so we're about to release, and she's like, "Hey guys, before all of you guys leave, so-and-so has something she would like to say to you guys. That's why I ended class early, so she could, she has an important message to tell you guys." And she gets up and she's like, thank you. And she starts getting really emotional. Yeah. And she's like, "Guys, if you're doing drugs, you can talk to me. This was my friend before she did drugs. And she pulls up a picture. And this is her after drugs. And like all that had changed in the picture.
I don't think I got
was
a
the
good look at
lighting.
it. No way. Because I don't.
And I think maybe the second picture, the after drugs picture, she had like a little scar on her cheek or something like that.
I sat in the back right, and I was kind of laughing because it was like so out of nowhere. And I sat on my computer and played video games in that class the whole time. So.
And she went on this like whole spiel about like this person let drugs take her life away, and now she's barely recovering. And I just want you guys to know that I'm here for you, and we've got this.
And I just remember everyone just looking around like, what?
Like, what? And I think she was like,
she started crying.
She was crying too. And okay, so I know this sounds like we're being very cynical and mean, but it's like we do think we believe her story that this person probably had an addiction and it probably destroyed her life. And we're not saying that we're like, after this, we're like, yes, let's do more drugs. This did the opposite.
Let's smoke crack, shoot heroin.
Yeah.
Chug ketamine.
I would trade heroin. I would trade my sister for heroin.
I would trade my sister for heroin.
No. No, but like we understood what her message was, and we understood why she was delivering it to us. But like, why at 9:30?
Just the worst timing.
Like, it was like my class was my next class was on the other side of campus, so her delivering this message caused me to be late, which was super frustrating because like, how do you leave in the middle of her saying this like like TED Talk, you know? And so she was like, and then afterwards when she was like done and she was kind of like collecting herself, she's like, okay, so you guys have any questions? And no one said anything. And I think she was like waiting for applause. Like you can kind of tell she was like waiting for people to like clap. And like no one clapped. And then the professor was like, okay guys, that's it. And we all just stood up and left. And she's like, I'll be here. If you guys have any questions after class, I'll just be standing right here. And everyone just left, and I felt so bad.
I felt bad, but it was just like...
Because it takes a lot of courage to talk in front of the entire class about something that you're really passionate about, but at the same time, I feel like it was just the wrong time. Like this
wrong class, like... do you think she did that with every class that day, or do you think it was only ours?
God, I hope not. Because it's just like... That's when you, like, try to set something up, maybe, like... find like a conference or some sort of like event that you could spread this message at, but not in the middle of a biology class.
Freshman biology class.
It was just super awkward.
Was she in our lab? Was she in our lab class?
I think so.
Oh my god, I think she was. In ecology, did you do the disease spread like lab where like you had the vials?
We did that in biology.
Yeah, but did you do it again in ecology?
No, but we did get to look at like different organisms under a microscope. But remember when we had to do like exchange fluids?
Yes, we did that. We did that in ecology again.
Cool.
Everyone's just like, yes, I have AIDS. Yeah, AIDS. Who got AIDS this time? I did. Everyone was so excited about getting AIDS.
It was a fun experience. It was like, it was weird hearing people say, hey, can I exchange fluids with you? It made like the whole like, because the exchanging fluids was supposed to be like a metaphor for sex.
Yeah.
We were like,
some people were promiscuous, monogamous,
and some people
polyamorous.
Some people received the no sex card and everything. Yeah. And so like it was it was supposed to explain to us how easily STDs are spread and everything. But it was just kind of funny. At the end, it kind of just became a meme. People going, I need to exchange fluids with you.
I met you in that lab, in basically the lab, right?
Well, the lab is correlated with the class.
Yes.
So we met in class.
Well,
but we sat next to each other more in lab.
Yeah, but when did I first because I know like we first really started hanging out when I asked if you wanted to study.
Yeah. We started studying for the tests every week.
But I was trying to remember like why did I go up to you specifically?
Well, I think it's because like
Did I know that we were in the same building? Because we lived on the same floor. We lived like a couple rooms from each other.
Well, I think you had saw my flyer because I was giving out like sandwich lessons.
That too. There was the sandwich lessons. There's also the belly dancing lessons you gave out.
Yeah.
No, the first time I ever interacted with you was at Einstein's. I didn't have any, you had your art, and I wanted to like Venmo you it, but you only took cash. And I didn't have any cash.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I met you. Because I was like, oh, who's this guy selling art? And then
I think because I recognized you, I was like, hey, he's in my class.
yeah. Well,
And then you're like, hey, you want to study?
yeah, because that might have been the first semester. That might be before I met you. That might have been the end of the first semester. Because I met you in the second semester.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was before we're in because I remember seeing you. I saw your gorilla shirt. And I think I said nice shirt. And then there's lab. And I sat next to you. Or did I say you nice shirt in lab? I don't know. Because I'm just trying to remember, like, how did, like, what made me ask you to study? Like, how? How, when, where, why?
I think
Because it's all a blur all up until that moment.
I think I'm gonna be honest. I think it's because out of that entire class, like there were so many interesting characters.
Yeah.
You know, but like I wouldn't have wanted to like, you know, talk to any of them outside of class because I think it would have just like ruined the mystique of like how they act in class. And so, but I think you were the only like level-headed person I knew in that class that didn't have some sort of absurd like quality, you know, that was like
we didn't even interact that much. We sat on the opposite sides.
Yeah, but we sat next to each other in lab.
That's true.
But like, cause like, you know, we had already chosen our seats, but like we sat next to each other. We were lab partners in lab.
Also, by the way, I specifically, because I would come in late every day. I specifically sat next to you in lab because I saw that you had the gorilla shirt, and you had the gorillas. What is it? The gorillas Cowboy Bebop shirt.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's probably cool. I'm gonna sit next to him.
Dang. Nice.
And then our seats got muddied around because I ended up sitting. There's a guy that took my seat. Remember that like the soccer player.
Yeah, let's not get into specifics.
He appeared one day, and so I sat behind you with that like country blumpkin guy. He was a cadet. He had a hickory accent.
I don't remember.
He sat next. I remember when we had the religion debate in class, which was something we did have. He was like, "I don't want to show up. I don't like when people diss God." I'm like, "Whoa." And I remember he's like, I hate it when the government goes into, like, invades our privacy. Or I hate it when the government intervenes and stuff, which could either be, like, hella based or hella cringe. Because it's like, because that could be, like, I hate vaccines or, like, I hate other shit. You know?
Yeah.
It's a terrible, I hate talking.
That class was filled with interesting characters. And I see the people in that class a lot just naturally. They're in my daily routine, and it's just interesting. I did not expect college to be like this, in the sense that like I did not expect there to be people that were still like who would still like sabotage class.
Yeah, like,
in a way.
Not like high school, where like I feel like high school is just like was more just fucking around.
And now, what's funny is, you know, my parents were always saying like, oh, you're gonna love college because, you know, once you get into college, you know, everybody there, they're paying for their classes, so they actually care about learning, and so there will be less disruption. And yeah. For the most part, that was pretty much true, except for that class, because there were so many interesting characters that they would like find ways to inject their like thoughts into the discussions, even if they weren't relevant. And, you know, it kind of disrupted the class, right?
Well, I feel like a lot of those people just didn't have a filter.
That too.
Like the neckbeard kid, like obviously, like there were some like discrepancies. I'm not saying there's something wrong with them. I'm saying that because I know a lot of people that don't have like that social filter with like just to shut up, like to stop talking, please.
He would say like one-liners at awkward times when it wasn't really appropriate to say one-liners. But
and he was also like kind of like hitting on this one girl that sat in front of him, and there's like some weird like it was very awkward because I sat behind him.
So you were just like sitting watching this like soap opera happen?
Yeah, I was a what is it? Not supervisor.
Observer.
I observed everything.
Yeah. But no, like back to my point, like I would say now, since I'm in mostly upper level classes that are like more relating to my major, none of my classes have any like special like disrupting characters in them. But you know, every once in a while you get a little star of their own show. Wants to take the stage.
Your class, did you like my answer I gave to you about what would you say sex is?
Okay, so for context, recently I had to do an assignment where I interviewed people on what sex is. And I think your definition was, and I quote, dick in ass / vagina.
I believe it was puss.
Yeah. I did some editing to your answer.
No!
I made it instead of. I'm so sorry. If my parents are watching this, I'm so sorry. I edited it to make it more respectful. I changed it to penis in ass / vagina.
Okay.
But you said dick in ass / puss, and I was like, oh my gosh. Either way.
I think I spelled it wrong.
Either way, I had to submit that, Sam. I had to submit that,
Yeah,
and now I feel really awkward. I'm worried that like I'm gonna get points off. But
What do you?
because I had to, whatever people say when I ask them that question, I have to write down what they say word for word.
Yeah, that's why I did that.
Imagine if you had said like, well, one guy gives a girl a watermelon seed.
I was like, you tell me, you're like, this is like you must be like saying you want to take this survey. I was expecting like a long like survey about my mental health, blah 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 blah.
Most people were pretty disappointed when I only asked one question.
I was like, is that it? Like, yeah, dick and ass / puss. I'm sitting there like, what should I say? Because I was like, I can't just say dick and puss because like that's kind of like that's homophobic. There's other forms of sex.
Yeah.
I should have said dick in mouth / ass / puss because I would have done everything.
Yeah.
Because I would have hit all targets.
You're forgetting the ear.
Oh, true. Yeah. But that would.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
No, but yeah.
They always get me. They're always sitting outside, Hogue, or just like the food area.
There are a lot of clubs at the school.
A lot of them don't advertise themselves.
There's the anime club.
Is there an actual anime club here?
Yes.
Or is it just the Discord?
Oh my gosh. Is
this the Discord that I'm in?
Yeah. So the what would you say? Would you say the leader of the club?
Yeah.
Or what's it called? Not the sponsor. Professors have to be sponsors.
The head dragon.
The head dragon of the anime club.
What is it? What do they call the leader of the clan?
The leader of the clan.
It's like the white. It's like the something dragon. That's what they are. They're basically clan leaders.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
AAA.
based off their politics, you know.
Yeah.
No, that's not real. That's not real.
Yeah.
No, but but what made me so
all the anime cross burnings. They show like Naruto on the cross. They burn it. They're wearing Ahigo like white hoods.
Oh my
like the anime girls like their tongues out.
This is all false.
This might literally be the worst podcast episode.
You said that last time.
I mean, I say that probably about every one I'm on.
No, but the head dragon of the anime club made me really mad because he walked up to me while I was I had like a little art set up, you know. I was selling artwork, and I was actually doing pretty good that day. This guy walked up to me and he was like, "Hey, I like your artwork. I was thinking maybe that would you like to make a poster for my club? I'm in the anime club here, and we need art. We're always looking for artists. Maybe you could make a poster advertising for the club. You know, maybe you could send me some drafts and I could add like text over it and everything. And I was like, that sounds great. You know, and I was like, dang, this would be like a new, you know, a method of like commission work that I had never done before. I'd never done something for a club before, you know? And so I was like, yeah, sure. And he's like, so I can't really pay you, but you'd really be helping out the club. And I'm like, sure, man, I'll think about it. I never got back to him. Don't ever ask an artist to do free artwork for you. Don't do it unless like you're like best friends with them or something.
I feel like if you're like good friends and it's like that, or you like work for, I guess if you're working for them, then yeah, if not, don't do free labor unless you're passionate for it. Unless it's in your either if you want practice or passion. I feel like that's the only reason you should do free labor.
Yeah. Other artists out there, if someone asks for a free commission and they're not family or a friend, don't do it. You put too much. You'd put too much work in that, and it makes no sense to do it for free.
Unless it's Ben Hughes.
Shout out Ben Hughes.
Shout out to Ben Hughes. I still need to give you about your non-sexy Eeyore's wife's Simpsons character as blue ninjas wielding ninja weapons with ninja poses. I've been busy. I'm sorry. Please don't get mad at me.
But yeah, artists, don't do free commissions, and don't let people tell you that your price is too low.
Or
don't let people tell you that your price is too high. In high school, I tried selling artwork and doing like commissions. I think I did like one commission maybe. I sold like maybe one print maybe out of my entire time in high school. And, you know, it makes sense because in high school, kids don't have money.
Yeah.
You know, but it always hurt my self-esteem when people would say, "Oh, how much is your print?" I'm like, $20. And they're like, "Oh, that's too much, man. You need to charge way less, like $5 maybe like $1." And I was like, "No, I put too much work into it. Yeah. That makes no sense." And, you know, for a while I thought, I guess I'm just gonna have to adjust. I'm gonna have to lower my prices and never make any money, you know, because like, you know, by the time I make a sale, I have to buy new pens and, you know, and new markers and everything. And I realized, no, they were wrong. You know, like if they don't want to pay my prices, then that's fine. That's perfectly fine. They can go about their business. I'm not going to lower my prices just because they think it's too high. Like, that's another thing that I learned really quickly, that like if you're doing anything creative and you're selling anything that you make personally, don't let people tell you that you charge too much. Obviously, there are unreasonable prices you could charge. Like I could charge $1 million for my print of Spider-Man. Obviously, I'm never going to get it, but like that's within my right.
Yeah.
Like it can be as unreasonable or as reasonable as I want it to be, but that's my right, you know. So another lesson for artists: don't let people tell you you charge too much.
I don't know if the audience can hear that, but there's some people fucking stomping upstairs.
Yeah. It's always like that here.
Really?
Like in the middle of the night, it'll sound like people are dropping like trucks.
That's in my room. I can hear like the person above me like get in their bed. I can hear it creak. You guys hear?
And I don't know if it's just how this place is built, but whenever people walk around upstairs, it sounds like they're like busting vases with like hammers.
That was my room. There would always be one giant just like boom. I felt so bad. So it sounded like a bunch of like noise was coming from the people below me, and I was like, I'm getting tired of this. So I started like basically banging on the floor with my chair, like and it stopped. I was like, okay, good. And then I get like a note that's like, hey, can you please be quiet? Like, we're not doing anything or something. And then I was like, shit, that was probably the people above me. Because it's like, I had my headphones on, because I could feel it.
Yeah.
I felt it on the ground. And I was like, shit, what is that?
Yeah.
And but they also had like sorry for being loud, and then the other side was like, can you guys please be quiet? Let's be friends. Like, bro, come on.
Speaking of hearing noises outside of your dorm room, I don't know how scientifically this makes sense, but I could hear the person above me watching an adult film.
They were yanking their chain.
I could hear.
Was it like they had like their fucking Roku, like their
Roku
their
pulled
Roku, yeah, on their yeah. Were they gooning out? Were they in their goon cave?
Because like I could tell it wasn't like a real people's like I could tell it was like being played from a sound system, like it wasn't real voices. But I heard like a lot of moaning, and I heard like the bed like go and I was like, no, because it was like.
This guy was.
It was like 5 a.m.
This guy is jerking loud. Are you sure they weren't fucking, or was this?
No, you could tell because it was like, because I work a lot with audio, and the sounded like it had like a heavy high pass filter on it, which makes me believe that either they were listening to it on their laptop or their phone. And it was
full blast.
On full blast, enough for it the sound to travel through the floor.
So this guy probably had no roommates. No way. Was this on a weekend or weekday?
It was a weekday, about like 5 a.m. My class is at like 9.
But wait, hold on. So these people, this guy has his laptop and her phone full. What had full blast?
It was at full blast. It had to have been.
So that
to
that
get
means,
through the yeah.
That means the guy has no roommates because no way this guy is jerking off while listening to porn on full blast at 5 a.m. with roommates.
Or the roommate, because like
that was like a group sesh though. That could also be the case.
Maybe, but here's the thing. In some cases, sometimes like people's like roommates and suite mates leave and stay at other people's places on weeknights sometimes. And so I think this guy had the room to himself, and he was like, "Dude, this is my chance. This is my time.
This is the jerk sesh time. Time to jerk it."
Because the thought occurred to me, maybe he is doing the dirty with someone real. But then I could tell like it was like the sound of the bed was clear, and the sound of the moaning was like through like a heavy high pass filter. Yeah. So I was like, no, he's watching some stuff.
You should have gone out there and knocked on the door.
Hey, can I join?
Hey, buddy!
Hey, police! Just imagine it's 5 a.m. You're
jerking off. You're loud.
You're diddling your diddle, by yourself, and you hear like a heavy knock on the door, and you hear police open up. Police. That's illegal, right? I think that's illegal, right? To pretend to be the police.
I mean, I feel like it would be. What is he gonna do? Call the cops?
Officer, I was jerking off.
Officer,
and someone interrupted me at 5 a.m.
I was blasting my porn on my iPhone 7 while yanking my chain while jerking off with the other hand while blasting my XX Latina big booty bitches porn, and all of a sudden I hear and a knock on the door saying a police. He should be executed.
He should be expelled.
Mr. Incredible, I need to jerk off. So send him to the principal's office.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's a very sexual episode.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
If his parents are watching, I'm sorry.
But yeah, it was an experience. And the worst thing is, this guy has done this like multiple times.
Really?
So like I'd say at least 3 times my entire time being here.
Are these like once a month or like?
I would say once. Like it skips a month, right? Okay. So like he has like a planned session where he just goes all out.
Goon session. You should.
And
if you ever just want to fuck with him, just like go up there and be like, "Hey, whoever's in the room above me, can you tell them to stop jerking off so loud? Like just like turn down the volume a bit."
Yeah, just like a slight little note under the door.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. What was it? I think. Oh, I don't know. I was gonna say. One time I was like almost in tears because I was really tired and it was really early in the morning, and I was, if I had been uninterrupted, I would have had like 2 more hours of sleep.
Yeah.
But this guy like robbed that from me because he wanted to go all out.
At that point, just go up there. Like, who cares? Like, I would love to be able to do that. Because, like, you're tearing someone down at probably their most vulnerable state.
Yeah.
He'd be so embarrassed that he would never wake you from your slumber again.
Yeah.
Because it's like no one wants to be caught jerking off.
Yeah.
No one wants to be caught jerking off.
Well, what's that phrase? No one wants to be caught with their tail between their legs or
Yeah,
something like
exactly.
that. I mean, like, quite literally, they'd be caught with their tail between their legs.
He'd be like, dude, I got a virus. My pants fell down. Right as the video.
I got a virus, and why is your pants down? My pants just fell down, and I got a virus, and this like weird thing popped up, and I can't get out of it. It's frozen. Oh my gosh, that reminds me. Have I ever told you this story? One of my friends, what they did at a school library one time.
No.
Okay, so picture it. It's middle school, right?
Yeah.
Me and my best friend at the time, who now I don't talk to at all because he was a horrible influence and a very bad friend. But that's a different story. We go to the school library, and he said to me, "Hey," and what's funny is I thought I was like unique in having this experience, but apparently, like Ryan McGee from Super Mega has had this almost exact same experience, and we were at the library, and we go into near the computer section, and he was like, "Hey Alex, dude, check this out. Like, in the school library, they don't have any like firewalls or anything, so you can just look up whatever you want." And I was like, "Cool. What is it? Like, we can play games maybe." And he was like, "No, check this out." He looks up like naked woman boob, and pulls something up, and he's like laughing hysterically, like, "Alex, look!" Like, I'm like, "Dude, you need to get out of that. Like, that we're gonna get in trouble." So I start like walking away. He's like, "Oh no, dude, look!" And then like a teacher walked by, and he was like, "Crap!" And he was trying to X out of it, but he clicks like 5 times, and this is like a Mac, of course, so it like gives him the spinning wheel of death. He's like, "No!" And he's like trying to X out of it, and I'm just like, I just leave him behind. This is his fault.
Yeah.
And he was like, and the teacher walks up and I was like, "What's this?" And he was like, "Nothing," whatever he said. Probably didn't say anything, and he got in trouble.
I remember junior year of high school, they would hold random events at lunch. So this event was like karaoke. So they had this DJ who would play music and you could sing it. And they also had this iPad on like it looked fucking stupid. It was an iPad on this like stand that drove around, and you could take pictures on it like a photo booth.
Okay.
And these fucking 2 freshmen, they get on the iPad, they go on Pornhub. So it's just Pornhub's pulled up on this iPad as it's moving around. They fucking run off. And they end up getting like suspended. Like,
oh my god!
Like, how dumb are you? It's funny like for the lols like at the time, but
yeah.
So.
This was, you said, junior year?
I would have been a junior, but the kids that did this were like freshmen.
Oh my gosh, they still haven't outgrown, like they still haven't matured enough. Like, granted, people in high school aren't necessarily mature,
of course, no.
But there's like a level of maturity. Like, you understand what, like, you just don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, because like there are ways to do, to meme, in high school and do funny things without, ruining your life, basically. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think if anybody ever did anything stupid at my high school that got them like in really big trouble. There was this one guy who printed out like a picture of our principal, and he had a bunch of like he had like some Arabic text that said like this man is wanted for several war crimes.
But all in Arabic.
In Arabic, and it said like please, if you see this man, please execute him. It had a bunch of like propaganda images and stuff like that on it, and it's a really funny picture. And like people were sending it around, and like, okay, let me give you some context. Our principal, everyone loved him.
That was
like,
our principal.
Like no one, even people who memed on him or like made fun of him, were literally usually just making fun of how nice he is. Like almost to the point like, oh, like the whole joke is that like he's so nice that he's like ignorant of certain things. Like me and my siblings had this joke like, hey guys, I found out about this new musician called Beyonce. Like Beyonce, and like I love her music. Single ladies sing, like we would do like impressions of him, you know. And like just make jokes about him, but it would usually just be like the whole joke was that he's super nice, right? And so like here's how much of a legend he was. He saw that image and he thought it was funny. Like he thought it was funny, but another administrator told him that like he needed to like suspend him. So he was like, he talked to the kid who made it and he was like, this is funny, but like I have to suspend you. Damn. I hope there's no hard feelings. And they just shook hands. Like, what a legend.
I know.
Like it was just such a funny image too, and it was like printed out like in like grayscale, and it like wasted so much ink because people were putting up like on the walls of the school and everything, and oh my gosh.
We had there's this one kid at my school. I don't want to say his name, but there was, do you remember like the Jose Onfroy when he died and like all the people like that memed him?
Who's that?
You know, XXX Tentacion or however you say it.
Is that the guy?
It seems like, okay.
That's not the guy who got like had to go to the hospital because he ate too much Cheetos.
No, this is a different person.
Okay.
But at this like sophomore year, and he dies, and so he wasn't the greatest guy. So people like memed like his death.
Okay.
But I made this image. This one kid at my school that like we. You know that like one kid at your school that you have like all this lore behind?
Yeah.
That like is just a character in your mind?
Yeah.
So I made this image. It was him. And it was pictured Jose Onfroy. And it said, "Come my son." Like, and rest in peace.
Okay.
And so I sent that around to my friends. And they thought that it was funny. And they put it on the high school meme account, and all these people were replying with like, "Rest in peace, fly high," and I was like, "Shit!" And so I made another one, which top text, bottom text, and fucking Comic Sans fault, which is like, "Rest in peace, blah blah blah, 1932, 2005." Or something. They posted that, and then apparently a bunch of people were asking like, "Dude, I thought you died."
Oh my god! They were asking the guy if he died. Oh my god!
So every time we think about him, we're like, "Dead man walking." Oh my god! What fucking it's like a YouTube channel now, and I sent him a Quran from a free one.
You mailed him a Quran?
Yeah, he's like, he had a P.O. box. He's a big YouTuber. He actually has a lot of subs.
Dang, we should have him on the podcast.
No. He's the one person I would never want on the podcast.
Really? We should have the guy who lives above me on the podcast.
Can we please just like, hey, we're doing it. Can we just go up to his...
He would be...
Go up to him with the microphone. It's like, are you the one jerking off?
Here's what will be our luck. We go up there and it's just like the rooms have changed. I think the top floor is like the honors floor, right? So it's like boys and girls. It's like with our luck, by the time we like confront this person, they probably moved out. Like they switched rooms because there are room changes all the time.
Yeah.
So like with my luck, I'd go up there to confront them and it wouldn't even be the person.
Happened with me, the person above me. So when I lived here, the person above us were like, "Sorry for the noise. Here's a number to call for being too loud." And of course, the people above us were fucking loud all the time. So I call them, they're like, "That's not us." I'm like, what do you mean? This is the fucking piece of paper you gave us.
They were gaslighting you?
I think so. They're like, we're in bed right now. It's not us. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Speaking of gaslighting roommates, a friend of mine told me about like this horrible roommate they had that would like smoke in the room and everything, and like there would be times where like my friend, she would like be getting ready for the day and realize some of her clothes were missing, and immediately she didn't immediately assume her roommate had done anything with her clothes, but then like she'd like leave and then like, you know, just naturally like bump into her roommate like during the day and find her wearing her clothes.
No way.
Like without her permission, without even asking. And thankfully she like moved out, like, or she had the person move out, or the person just moved out of their own fruition. But like, just imagine like,
Yeah, that's weird.
like that's actual like
was she like smoking
psychosis.
in the pen, or was she just like smoking like a 10-foot bong? Like,
No, like I think like she was like either like vaping or smoking like cigarettes in the room.
cigarettes, that's worse. I was like, weed is at home, so I'm smoking a little bit of that marijuana. And over the summer I had an upstairs room. So it was like I was like sitting, I had the window open, I was just smoking out the window. It's like a fine night, I got off work, I was chilling. And I guess I didn't realize that keeping the window open and smoking directly out the window doesn't mean that the smell doesn't travel. And my parents get home. My mom just like walks past. My mom doesn't care because my mom smokes too. Well, she has a pen to help with her migraines. But my dad, he's like drunk. He's like, oh my God. Like, he's not mad. He's laughing. He's like, Sam, like, what are you smoking out of? Like, you're stinking up the whole house.
Oh my God.
What are you, 10-foot? That's why he said 10-foot. But he's like, what do you got, a 10-foot bong? Weed in my family, it's there's a strange relationship. It's either you love it or you hate it.
That brings me back to the first time you met my friend Taylor.
Oh yeah, that was epic. That's where I got this hat.
Yeah, that's where you got the Gorillaz hat. We both went to the same Gorillaz concert.
Awesome.
And I went with my friend Taylor, and you know, on the day of the concert, I realized that you were going.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't until the day of.
It was like the day before.
Or the day before, yeah. So we get there separately, and I'm trying to like find him like in the mass of people.
Oh, that was the because I could barely hear you on my phone. It was very loud.
Yeah, and so I bring my friend Taylor to meet. Taylor was on the podcast once, one of the episodes recently, and I take Taylor with me to meet Sam, and you know this whole time I'm like hyping you up, right? I'm like, oh, Taylor, you're gonna love Sam. He's like, you guys think alike about a lot of things, and you guys are very similar. You guys have similar interests. You guys have a sense of humor and all that. And we go up to you, and Taylor's like, hey, I'm Taylor, and you're like, oh my gosh, guys, this concert's great. I've had like 30 shrooms. Me and my sister were pre-gaming beforehand.
I didn't have that much shrooms. I had a bit of shrooms. I wasn't hallucinating. I did have a body high. It was very easy to sneak shrooms into grills, by the way. They didn't. The security was not that crazy. I think it's like unless you had like a fucking gun. No, we were.
No, but this is my Gorillaz brand rifle. You gotta let me have it.
We were drinking before. I don't know if this was illegal. This is illegal. But my sister was like handing me drinks that night. She was above age. I don't know if you should bleep this or not. Can they find you? Do they care? Will the cops watch this video and be like, kill him?
I don't know.
No, but I got pretty trashed that night. And I kind of felt bad because I felt like an asshole after. But then you're like, no, it was fun. It was funny.
It was really funny because you said like, I know I was exaggerating, but I just want to get the point across. You're like, yeah, I had like a bunch of shrooms, you know, and dang, this concert's great, right, guys? And we're like, yeah, and you're like, anyway, guys, enjoy the concert. I gotta go take a leak.
Oh, dude, I had to take a leak.
And you just left without saying anything else. And I was like, and Taylor and I didn't say anything. And we just walked back to our seats. And then he just burst out laughing. And I was like, what? And he's like, it was great to meet him, man. I was like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's Sam. And just like, I think that is just his image of you now until we, you know, we all reunite again. And you have a chance to actually have a conversation with them.
That concert was so fun.
That was the best. I mean, it was the first like concert I'd ever been to, but that was the best concert.
That was so
One of
fun.
the best like moments of my life. Because not only obviously did I really like the group and the music, but at one moment like I was enjoying myself so much that I felt like literally this thought entered my head. I was like dancing with my friends, and I was like, because I usually don't really dance that much, but I was dancing and everything, and I was like singing along, and this thought entered my head like, I am so happy right now. This is the best moment ever. Everything is perfect. I love my life.
Yeah.
Like all these thoughts were entering my head. Like it was definitely a high. And I would say it was because of just the wafting cloud of weed smell that was traveling over, but you can't really get secondhand high. So I was really just high on like my experience, high on life. And it was like, I was getting like emotional in a good way. I was like, this is like awesome.
My sister's like, Sam, this is your Super Bowl. Because I showed my sister Gorillaz basically. Because she started listening to Momentary Bliss, was like the first started Gorillaz. And then she started listening to everything. So that's now like our band that like we listen to. But no, I was going crazy. I was just like, because I didn't sit because my sister's friends came as well, and they just sat like on a blanket like half the time, but me and her stood the entire time dancing. My dad got pissed because my sister ended up using the family Amex to buy alcohol and drinks, which he was not very happy about because it is expensive.
I imagine so, especially at a concert.
Oh yeah, and she ended up paying it back. She did end up paying it back. And then I asked my mom, I was like, "Can I buy some shirts?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then spent like $130. I have Gorillaz pins. I found them. I was wondering if you wanted one because it's all like the. I don't have them opened. I don't know where to put them. But if you want like one of them,
Anything with 2D on it. Like if you just have one, I would love 2D is my favorite.
okay, you could. Okay, I wanted to get. They had a noodle shirt that I really wanted. Unfortunately, they didn't have my size. They only had larges, an extra large. I'm a big boy. But then I ended up getting just like the tour tee, which I feel like in the long run was probably better.
I thought about it long and hard because the line was super long.
We got lucky. We only waited for like 20 minutes.
Nice.
There's also a second merch line which no one was in, by the way.
Cool. I thought about it long and hard. I was like, I want a shirt that has all the characters on it, and I want the tour dates, to encompass the concert, itself, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole, the point of the, the experience. And I was like, I think that it was just the normal tour shirt was just, I think, just the best option because obviously it had the characters, had the tour dates, and people will know what that shirt is from, and all the designs were recent,
Was all the merch there like only for the concerts?
I think the tour shirts were only for the concerts. Everything else you can get online, I think.
Okay.
Which makes me feel special.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I have this hat. This hat was cheaper than a shirt, but that makes sense. Well, actually, was it? I think it was like $10 cheaper.
I spent, I think in total $40, and it was just on that one shirt, and I felt like I was spending a lot.
There's this one guy. This hashtag epically wholesome. This like this old dad. And you could really tell that like he probably enjoyed it, but like he was there for his daughter, and he was like, because I was just like talking to people on the merch line, and he's like, yeah, my daughter's autistic, and I gotta make sure everything she gets is right, and I'm gonna get her whatever she wants. I'm like, that's so nice.
That's so sweet.
But everyone there was so like super cool.
Yeah.
It was just like a chill vibe, except like the people like to the right of us when we were like dancing, seemed like they had like a stick up their ass.
Dang.
But no, it was super cool, super fun. I wish I could go to another one.
It's amazing how good of a performer Damon is, even though he was most likely like smashed during that concert.
Oh, every guy there was smashed except the lady on Désolé.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed. I liked how she came out, even just for that one song.
I like how just about everybody, every time a song had somebody that like was a collaborator in it, like that, or every time a song had somebody featured, they actually had the person there.
Yeah.
Like this was like the perfect concert for me to go to be my first concert. I actually get to see people featured in the songs actually perform, and like everyone had such great stage presence. And
So I know with like Clint Eastwood, Del the Funky Homo Sapien. If he's not there, they can't like perform the actual like version of the song. Even though when he performed, they kind of fucked up and he started off at the wrong point.
Yeah.
I'll let that go. But and dude, when they're like ready for the outro, and then they play the Clint Eastwood remix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My sister's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "You've never heard it?" And obviously, like,
It's a classic.
I've heard every Gorillaz song. So I'm like, "Dude, no way! They're playing this random remix off this like special edition of the remix of the first album."
I mean, it was on the first album. It was just on the normal first album. Yeah.
No, I thought there was a like extended version.
Oh well, maybe, but that track is on the normal Gorillaz album.
Because they had like a remix. Yeah, and then.
But yeah. They played a lot of good songs. They played. I was really hoping they'd play New Genius, but I was like, nah, it's another song. They're never going to play it. And they did. It was one of the first few songs they played. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Was that the one where they had the Lackey Took Home art behind it?
Like the chimp in the spacesuit? Yeah.
Okay.
It's the song where it was like a don't trust people you meet. They might tell you the river ain't deep.
Yeah, that was like the one song like I did not remember.
Interesting. That's one of my favorite songs.
Because when they had the art in the back, I was like, shit, they're playing Lackey Took Home, which is a weird reggae remix of their first album. It was like, what are they going to play, Banana Baby? Because the set list I had was different, I think. I think I had like what? No, I did have the right one. I was just confused. I think I was a little drunk.
Yeah, no, we've established you were on some substances.
Like, they played the beginning was so awesome when they played M1A1, like the T's.
Yes.
And then M1A1. And I fucking just going crazy, and then at the end where everything goes black, and you're like, they're not going to play Feel Good Inc. And then the guy comes up, he's like, everyone, because it goes black.
Yeah.
And the encore is Feel Good Inc., Clint Eastwood, and Rock the House, right?
Yep.
Which that's my sister's favorite. Well, I think that's my sister's favorite Gorillaz song. That's the one we play the most and know all the lyrics to. So when that came on, I was like, no.
I lost my mind.
I went, dude.
They actually got the people there.
I know. Then everyone came out, and I was like, oh my. It was.
I thought it was
insane.
hilarious. I thought it was hilarious to see people leave the concert early.
I know. I saw that. I was like, they don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know.
We got left out. We got dropped off by my dad, and then my sister's friends took us home. So we didn't have to worry about parking.
Nice.
It was funny when my dad dropped us off. He drove by to us. He's like, Gorillaz, yeah!
You see any primates?
No, that set list was like crazy because it's like every song. And then they played like the music videos. I thought the Oh Green World cover was awesome, where he starts off on the piano.
It's all melodic and everything.
And then it plays. And my sister yelled like, pollution! Stop it! See, just like, cause that's the point of the song.
Yeah. Oh Green World, don't forget me now.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
I listened to that song. I remember like falling asleep. I had my iPad Mini. I listened to it on my Beats headphone back in like 7th grade.
Nice.
That's like a memory that's ingrained.
Speaking of iPads and iPods,
What about iPed?
iPed. Ooh. When I was in elementary school, I didn't have a phone, and I'm happy that I didn't have a phone. I didn't really need one yet.
I don't think at that time. I feel like then because I didn't even think. I think I had an iPad Mini up until, I probably used that iPad Mini all the way up to 8th grade. Even though I had like an iPhone 4, I just like didn't use it because like I can't play Clash of Clans on a small screen. I gotta watch on my iPad.
I got my first phone in 8th grade, and it was my dad's old iPhone 4. He upgraded to like a 7, I think, and I was happy to get it. But like in elementary school, I didn't have a phone, and at the time I was like, I really, really wanted an iPod Touch.
I had an iPod Touch. That's what it was. I was in the same boat.
And I really, really wanted it, And so I went to like an after school program because my dad taught at the school that I went to, and so obviously had to stay after, and so I had to stay after, and there would always be kids playing on their iPod touches, and like I would be like, hey, I was that kid who'd be like, hey, you got games on your phone? Like, hey, can I play with you the games on your phone? Like, can I have a turn? And I was even just content to like watch them play. And it was just like, now that I think back, like imagine how I would have been super annoyed if there was just this kid asking me, hey, can I play on your phone?
That was me with my brother. He's my stepbrother, or my half brother. He's a lot older than me. So he had like, I think it was like, it might have been an iPhone. But I'd always steal, and I'd always be like, if I win this game, I'll be able to have your iPhone, because I wanted to play like Angry Birds on it and cut the rope. And no, I remember it was Christmas. Oh my god, I got my first iPhone. It's like, and then like we went to like family after. I went to my dad. I was like, Dad, can I buy Angry Birds? It's $2. He's like, Sam, it's Christmas. Buy what you want. And I just bought Angry Birds.
you had the opportunity to like get like some like multiple apps. You're like, no, it's just
I wanted fucking Angry Birds. I think I got Angry Birds and Cut the Rope.
Nice.
I mean, that's all you needed. Angry Birds, Cut the Rope. I didn't play Clash of Clans then. What else? Pocket God. You play Pocket God? There's Pocket God and Doodle God.
I didn't have a phone until 8th grade. I didn't have a device until any kind of. I told you I didn't have any device until 8th grade. I got my first phone in 8th grade, and I had like a school issued iPad. No, in 8th grade. So I got my first access to any devices at all, in 8th grade. Of course, like there was always like the family laptop.
Yeah. Which
was really just my mom's laptop that she used for.
We had the family laptop. That it then became my laptop. Same.
The laptop that used to be my mom's became my first laptop. I used it for a long time, and I only just recently got. Well, I guess recently now is like translates to a year ago or 2 years ago. I got.
You used it for that long?
I used it for a long time. I used it to run Gmod and Counter-Strike, and it could barely run Counter-Strike, but it could run Gmod really well for some reason, but not Counter-Strike.
Damn.
And like, I had an online friend at the time. We're still friends, but I don't know why I say it like that. But like, we would play Gmod all the time, and Just Cause 2 and Counter-Strike, and like, he would always ask me like, hey, do you want to play this other game? And I'm like, sorry, my computer can't run it. And like, we'd always get to that conversation. Like, he'd always forget that I can't really download anything else. I think he eventually convinced me to get Terraria, which is a phenomenal game. Yeah. So Terraria, Gmod were the only two games I could actually run on that laptop without it like crashing. Even just like using the internet was like frustrating, because like I would open a new tab and there'd be like 3 other tabs open, and it would say like not responding for like an hour, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
I had the family laptop. I would play Pop Tropica.
Oh my gosh.
I was a dumb little kid, so I'd be like, I would look at how to make app, and then I would download every virus. So I would break the family computer multiple times trying to get free Clash of Clans gems, how to develop an app. Then my dad would have to take it to like this one repair friend who would reset it and make it fine. But that fucking computer, oh my god, I had this laptop, the family computer that became mine, until it would have been, we moved. So I would have been in 6th grade. I had until 6th grade probably that I got a new laptop for Christmas.
Dang.
But this laptop, I would play Minecraft, and I would have to do it on like 0 render distance. I could barely fucking play it. And then it got to a point where a big line would appear on the screen.
The line of doom.
Yeah, and it's funny, I still have the laptop. It's in my closet, and if you open it, it barely runs any search, because I had all my friends over, and I brought it on, like, dude, look at this laptop. And they tried to look up, like, fucking boobs on it, and they couldn't. The disk drive has popped out. You can take out the disk drive. So if you need a disk drive for a 2008, like, Linux, or would it even be Linux? I forgot, like, Lenovo computer.
Nice. You could sell it on the black market.
It's Windows 7, bro.
Windows 7, people's favorite operating system.
I just upgraded to Windows 11, and it was the most, like, stressful shit, because, like, I have a custom-built PC, and so, like, my motherboard had to be all changed around. I, like, format a different drive, and, like, at the end of the day, it didn't really change anything.
It changed the position of the taskbar or something.
Yeah, which I then reverted back to the original
exactly.
position.
Unnecessary.
It just made it look a little more clean. The other thing that sucks is, you know, when you click like the start menu on like the left, the Windows button, and it's like restart, blah 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 blah. It's like the power button.
Yeah.
Like, you know how it's on the left?
Yeah.
It's on the right now.
Dude, I'm so glad I downloaded like I don't know how many gigabytes of memory.
I know, and now it has different sounds when you do stuff. So it's like
I don't think I've downloaded Windows 11 yet. I think because like I think I clicked like skip when it prompted me too.
I mean, my computer didn't even qualify to like download it anyway, so I had to wait until it was my computer. I was like just teetered. No, what happened was it crashed because I wasn't there. I was like, shit, I don't want this to happen. I don't want my computer to crash at all. I was like looking up issues, blah, blah, blah. And one was, I believe that I downloaded the wrong BIOS update. And I believe I downloaded the Windows 11 version and installed it and it was running fine. And I was like, okay, nothing's wrong. And then one random crash made me uber paranoid. I'm like, this ain't happening ever again. So I spent like 3 hours searching up the problem, and then I looked it back to probably like the operating system, and then I spent another hour rebooting my computer multiple times, figuring out the issue, turning settings off and on until finally it fucking worked.
Oh my gosh.
I love Windows. Thank you, Mr. Microsoft, for putting AIDS in vaccines. You remember that? The Bill Gates. You don't remember the big Bill Gates scandal?
He put AIDS in vaccines.
He like sent out vaccines or something, and they had AIDS or something. Something, I don't care.
I don't know if that's...
Look it up.
I don't know if that's real.
You know what? Hey, look up AIDS. Just look up how to get AIDS. How to be a bug catcher.
Like Joey. Joey's a bug catcher.
Joey's a bug catcher. He's a known bug catcher. It is.
We should. What?
It is 10:35.
When did we start recording? Thank you guys for listening and watching. We're gonna end it here.
Video. There's gonna be a lot. I just got out. But you know what? Watch us next time on whenever you get brought to this black void we're in. Bye.
Bye.